Hello, welcome to my channel, Psychic Kathleen. My name is Kathleen. Today I'm going to speak about a reading I did for a client who was in her 50s. She is a mother of 4, divorced almost 18 years, has been working at the same job for 38 years. And is now trying to sell her house. She has a for sale sign on it, and has been trying to sell it for 3 weeks with no success, no bites, which is causing her great anxiety. She needs to sell the house. She needs to raise some cash, and she's also finding it quite a financial struggle to keep the mortgage payments up, along with, taxes and heat and all the rest of it that it takes to keep a house going. So of course, one of her questions was about selling the house. When is that going to happen? And I pulled the Queen of Wands. Now the Queen of Wands is about fulfillment of your passion. In time frame, wands are summer, fire is their element. And so for a time frame, this would suggest, for example, next August. However, highly unlikely that it will take until next August to sell her house. So what is the process of selling her house? What's going on in there that the cards would say it's going to take until next August to sell it? And that came up the 5 of Wands, which is strife and struggle. So I said to her, why would there be such strife and struggle in selling your house in particular? And she said, well, they had said, the market was softening. It was getting more difficult to sell a house. There were fewer people in the market to buy right now. And so there was she could expect there to be a delay. So then she asked me, well, I'm interested in purchasing this condo in particular. I'm just wondering, am I going to be successful in buying this condo? And that came up, the Queen of Swords, which would be fulfillment. So it's saying, yeah, it looks like you will have success in purchasing the condo of your choice. And that's spring. So that gave us some more information in terms of when it's likely that she will successfully sell the house. So after turning over a few cards and looking at the issue in more and more depth, the conclusion I reached was that she would sell the house likely by the end of this year, and it would take her until spring to finalize her purchase of this condo that she wanted to buy, and that would happen in the later spring. So it wasn't quite as terrible as, not selling the house until next August. Then she had some other questions, for example, about her health. And I felt just intuitively that her health was at risk. And indeed, it turned out that she was diabetic and also had some other chronic health issues. And what came up in needing healing was the King of Pentacles. So I asked her about her doctor, and she said indeed she would change her doctor in a heartbeat if she could, but her doctor it's very difficult to change doctors in Canada. Once you have a doctor, you're really grateful to have one. So unfortunately, she felt sort of saddled with this fellow who took no interest in her health. And she said really lacked intuition. He never asked her, other than how are you doing, she'd say fine, and that was pretty much it. He didn't sort of probe deeper than that to find out more about her symptoms or what else might be bothering her. So I said, when you sell your house, you might want to take a portion of that and look at investing in your health. Seeing a naturopathic doctor, for example, seeing someone like a counselor for your depression. But there's a number of sort of private services that you could benefit from. And I said, I do have some concern about your health going forward. And if you get sick and you're not able to work, then everything that you've tried to accomplish to date will be for naught. So in fact, prioritizing your health is important and should, start coming up higher on your list of things to be looked after over buying a condo. So we spoke of that a little bit. Now, then she had 4 children, so she had questions about her children. One of her questions was about her second eldest, who she described as having an alcohol-related problem, that he was an alcoholic. And I pulled the 5 of Cups, which is a sadness and depression card. And I said he does need treatment and he is depressed, and he better have that looked after. What he's doing is self-medicating with alcohol and drugs, and if he doesn't address this, the deeper underlying issues soon, he's going to find himself in a lot of trouble. So we spoke of that, but there wasn't really anything that she could do to change that. And again, as so often happens with women who have mothered for years and years and have adult children, they're so used to caring for others and prioritize those in their lives and often put their own needs aside. I felt that, she needed to wake up to the reality that she needed to start looking after herself, start putting herself first. Her children were all grown up. They were, having to find their way in the world. And she had enough on her plate with her health and financial stresses without, being worried about them as well. So she felt relieved to know that the house would sell and she would get some resolution in terms of a place to live by spring. She had a trip planned, and so life wasn't quite as terrible as she had come in claiming it was. There were lots of things to look forward to, and in general her children were doing better than she feared. So thank you once again for joining me and listening to how I worked with a client and addressed their issues with a combination of cards drawn and intuition and some feelings that I had about them and what they what could benefit them to lead more fulfilling lives. So I look forward to seeing you here again. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel below, and don't forget to give the notification bell a click, and notifications will come into your email when I've uploaded a new video. And I look forward to seeing you again here soon. So thank you once again. Bye.